Welcome to week 3 of at-home schooling. Once again, I hope you and your families are doing all right. We're fine here so far. All right, this week, let's take care of some other issues first. First of all, once again, a lot of you have been following directions and commenting below the video here when you have watched it with your first name and that you watched. If you haven't been doing that, please make sure you do. I think I'm going to end up rolling this into like a participation type of a grade. And it also makes sure that you are taking the effort to listen to directions and follow them. If it doesn't let you comment it below the video, I think some of you are having issues because you're logged in through your school account. That's okay. Comment right below where I posted on Classroom. Okay, so you can put your first name and watched below that part too. You probably have seen other people do that. All right, I need you to be doing that though, so that I know that you're doing your part and making sure that you're following directions for the week. All right. First thing, grades. Grades are due tomorrow on Tuesday, if you're watching this on Monday. I'm going to be putting them in Monday, okay, on the 6th. Your final grade to go in is going to be your iReady grade. This is something that you've had since February 1st, so I still kept it on as a grade, even though I know we've been home for the last couple of weeks. A lot of people were depending on that grade too to help boost their scores. So yes, okay, and I commented on everybody's classroom that you had an extension until today to do that. All right, so I will be putting your grades in here a little later today on Monday, and that's going to be your final grade, other than if you did any extra credit. All right, let's talk about extra credit because I've had some questions with that too. While you are at home, I am going to limit the extra credit opportunities to only two things right now. You can either, or you can do both. You can go ahead and do a book review on our class website. You can also go on to vocab.com and you can do the extra credit for the fourth 9 weeks. That should be posted and up by now. Okay, if you did extra credit for the third 9 weeks for either of those, I will make sure to get your points into you. All right, but fourth 9 weeks start today. So if you want to go on vocab.com and do the fourth 9 weeks, you're good to go. All right, so that's what you got so far. I might come up with a couple extra activities for you to do for extra credit. And if I do that, I will post them through Classroom so that you know about them. Okay, but as of right now, those are the only two options we've got while we're doing the distance learning stuff. All right, next. Um, Schoology issues. I know a lot of you have had issues logging into Schoology lately. I think they're being overwhelmed with a lot of their stuff. I know I gave you guys a post on this in Classroom, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. Starting this week, we are going to move to something else. Okay, so from this point forward, we're not going to use Schoology anymore. I'm not going to wait for them to try to iron out all of their problems. What we're going to be using instead for any simple solution or vocabulary lessons is we're going to use a Google form. So I know a lot of you guys have done the surveys and stuff for me. I can make questions on there too. Okay, so you can link to that right through Classroom here. It'll be posted below. I'll show you in a second here below your assignment. And it's the same type of thing. It's the same questions. You can just go ahead and put your stuff in there. And I believe you still should be able to see how you did once you submit it and all that other good stuff. And actually should post your grade right into Classroom when it's done. So hopefully that'll help to streamline things a little better. You only need to log into Google. You don't have to worry about logging into another website. And hopefully that won't cause any issues. All right. If you do have any issues with that, let me know. We're actually not starting that till next week because your vocab assignment this week is something different. But I just want to let you know that as soon as you get those taken care of in Schoology, that's not going to be a problem anymore. Many of you, about half of you, I think, have already submitted your stuff through Schoology. If you have anything outstanding in Schoology, so things that you haven't completed yet, you need to keep trying to log in there and get those done for me so I can get the grade in for you. Okay, everything that you did last week goes on the fourth 9 weeks. So those are going to be your first grades for the fourth 9 weeks grading periods. I know a lot of you have had issues, so I'm not doing any kind of late dates or anything like that, but you do need to get them done. Okay, so that would be lesson 38 in simple solutions and 6E for your vocabulary. Okay, so make sure that at some point in time you get those taken care of, and sooner rather than later. As far as Schoology goes, I've had a lot more luck logging on in the evening when it doesn't seem to be so overcrowded in there, but just keep trying it out. If you still have issues, like I said in the post, email me and we'll work something out. Okay, I just need those two assignments from you. Okay, at some point sooner rather than later. All right, your weekly assignments for now on. So let's go ahead and talk about those. Your next 4 weeks are going to look very similar to each other because we're going to go ahead and do things in kind of like 4 parts. Okay, so the next 4 weeks here to until May are going to be very kind of identical. Let me go ahead and bring up the first one if I can find it. There we go. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start your Holocaust novels this week. A lot of you guys went and brought those home, or you were able to find things online. Okay, we've been talking about those for the last 3 weeks, and people have been asking me when we're going to start them. Well, this is the week. So here's what I need you to do. I told you we're going to go ahead and do this for the next 4 weeks. So the first thing we need to do is break your book into 4 sections. So if you remember back at the beginning of the year in October, we did the same thing with our dystopian novels. I want you to go ahead and take a look at the total number of pages that you have in your story, divide it by 4, and that's how many pages you're going to be required to read per week. Okay, so if I had 100 pages in my book, divide that by 4, I've got 25 pages that I need to read per week. Okay, go ahead and divide yours. Now, some people, like we said before, sometimes your page number is going to end in the middle of a chapter. If that irritates you, you can add or subtract a few pages. That's fine, so that you end at the end of a chapter. All right, that's okay. But before you go any further, you should write down which page numbers you need to be reading for the next 4 weeks. Okay, so this week would be like 1 through 25. Week 2 would be 26 through 50, 51 through 75, 76 through 100, or whatever yours is. Okay, so you should work that out and either put bookmarks in there or something like that to go ahead and mark where you need to leave off each week. Okay, that's going to be your major project kind of for the next 4 weeks. So with the reading, each one is going to have a small prompt here in Classroom. Okay, so under your assignment, you're going to see a prompt each week. Okay, this week, after you read your quarter of your book, what I would like you to respond to in about a paragraph. Okay, so you're going to type it right into the comments area below this. Okay, so once I go ahead and post this, you guys know there's the comments area below here. Just go ahead and write your paragraph right there. What I would like you to do is I'd like you to be able, or I'd like you to describe either one significant similarity or a significant difference between the main character in your novel and that of Anne Frank. Okay, so you only have to describe one. But what I am going to be looking for when I read your paragraph is that you, down here, okay, number 1, you included the name of your novel, so I know what you're reading. You told me what similarity or difference you're going to be talking about. And then I would like you to use details from both stories. You do not have to use quotes for this. Okay, if we were in class and stuff, I'd have you pull some quotes, but we're going to back off of that a little bit. I want you just to give me some details. Okay, so what are some details from your story that help support your similarity or difference? What are some details that you read in Anne Frank that help to support your similarity or difference? I need to see a couple from both, okay, to help support what you're saying. All right, and then make sure you write a complete paragraph. We've been working on that all year. You guys have had a nice break from that. Okay, but I'm only asking for a paragraph here. We're not going to turn this into an essay or anything. All right, so go ahead and do that for me. You're going to put that right in the comments area, like I said, below this assignment. So I should be able to see your name. You should have your paragraph there, and I'm going to use that to do the grade for this. All right, those of you who were not able to find a book, I included a link down here for the book called Night. Okay, you can use this. This is the full text. Make sure you pay extra attention to where the story starts because there is a foreword. It gives you a little background before it. If you find that you don't like the book that you chose and you would rather use this, that's also okay. All right, so you do have a book here to use should you need it. All right, so this week, do the first quarter of your book, answer that question for me, post it below this. That's assignment number 1. You only have one other thing that you need to do, and that's vocabulary. Down here, let's go this week. All right, so this week, this would technically be our test week, but we're not going to worry about that from home. Instead, what I would like you to do is complete the vocabulary.com lesson here. Many of you have already started this. This was something we were doing on a monthly basis before we started doing stuff at home. I extended that end of March deadline, okay, through this coming Sunday so that you guys, so it stayed open and you had the extra time. So a lot of you have not only started this, a lot of you have already finished this. But if you didn't have a chance to do so, this is the time to do it. All right, so log on to vocabulary.com. Make sure you finish Unit 6. Remember, you have to complete it and you have to pass it with 75% mastery or above, and you're good to go. Okay, so many of you, like I said, can already check this kind of off. If you didn't, make sure you do it this week. All right, so those are your 2 assignments this week. We're not going to go any more than that. Along with that, these are still going to be due by Sunday night. Okay, I realize this weekend is a holiday weekend. It would have been the same thing if we were in school. Okay, so if you decide to wait till the weekend to read and do your stuff, that's up to you. But I post these on a weekly basis. So it's posted today. You can get it all done today, or today and tomorrow, and be done with it, or you can drag it out. It's up to you. Same thing for next week. I will still be posting on Sunday. All right, so I will give you next week's assignments on Sunday as usual because I know a lot of you like to start ahead of time. You don't have to. I realize it's your vacation. All right, but if you want to start ahead of time, it's there. And if you want to wait, you can wait. No big deal. Okay, it's still going to be due the following Sunday. That's what we're going to kind of work with here. So you kind of already know. I told you the next 4 weeks are identical, so I'm sure you can probably guess what next week's assignments are going to be. All right, so if you want to work ahead, that's also fine. Those of you who, are bored and would like to do some extra reading or whatever, you can definitely work ahead. You just won't have the question. All right, guys, I think that's all I've got to tell you. Yep, that's it. All right, so don't forget, please post underneath this video or underneath in the comments area on Classroom that you watched this, okay, so I know that you did your part. And I will see you soon. Have a very happy Easter. Enjoy the outdoors. We've been getting outside a lot here, even though I know it's supposed to be kind of crummy this weekend. But I will talk to you soon. As always, email me, guys, if you have any questions.